G'day folks, welcome back to the Ideas Man. Today's video we are going to be taking a look at magnets. Now, in case you hadn't worked it out by now, magnets are one of my favourite things. I love them, I think they are mad. In this video today we're going to be taking a look at all the favourite places around the house that I like to use magnets. Most of these ideas are going to be utilising these little guys. Now, in case you haven't seen one of these before, they come out of old hard drives. So I've got a couple old hard drives that I picked up from a local computer shop. If you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to take these apart, pop out those magnets and use them wherever you like. Now, if you haven't got a hard drive lying around, which is completely fair enough these days, you can actually find magnets very easily online. So this little bag of magnets I purchased from a website, magnet.com.au. I'll put a link in the video description, but these ones cost me about $10, free delivery, so very cheap, very easy to find magnets online these days. So without further ado, let's go take a look at all the places I love to use magnets. One of the first places we're going to look at in the workshop here is these wooden vice clamp holders which I made using some of those old hard drive magnets. For a while there I used to use just old scrap bits of wood to protect wood and other soft things in the metal vice here. And they were okay, but they had some annoying issues where you'd bump past it and they'd fall off and disappear down under the bench down there. And they were a bit annoying to use. When you wound the vice in and out, they'd sort of fall over and stuff like that. So these ones, what I've done is actually just chop out a bit of the wood behind there, dropped in one of those hard drive magnets that I actually chopped in half, put some duct tape on just to protect it, and then you can see, snaps in place there. Come around, you can wind the vice in and out, no problem. They stay in place and protect your softwood or other items. Another place is this magnetic screwdriver holder. This one was pretty easy to make. I just took apart some old speakers, popped out the drivers, screwed them onto the wall. So this is pretty easy to use. You just take off the screwdrivers, use them, pop them back. Now this does have some issues. Occasionally the screws, they're holding on pretty well there, but you see they slide down a bit. And these magnets are not the strongest, so I've got some good ideas on how to make a better version of this. I'll do that in a future video as well. One of my favourite use cases for magnets in the workshop is this place where I store my barbecue hot plate. Now you may recognise this from the induction barbecue video. When you want to use it, it's super easy. Just pop it down. When I'm done, I come back in the workshop, snap it up there on the magnets. Very solid, not going to fall down. Now this is very easy to make. I simply just took one of these magnets I showed you before, screwed them up onto the bench with these little holes, put some duct tape over just to protect the magnet, and that was it. It took me about 5 minutes. Still in the workshop here, and another place I've got magnets is this little workbench light. You can see here, rotates around, turns on nicely, lights up the bench. Now if I want to move to the other side of the bench to do some soldering, simply unhook it from there, snaps on there, Bob's your uncle. One more cool place I found to use these hard drive magnets was while doing painting touch-ups. You got a little paint tin up on the top of the ladder there, snap that magnet on the bottom. What that means is you're carrying your ladder around, moving around, you bump it, that paint tin's not going to fall off. You can see I've tipped the ladder sideways, given it a bit of a shake. That paint tin's nice and secure. Last but not least in the workshop here, I've got out of an old subwoofer, similar to that screwdriver holder but on a bigger scale, I've got this hat holder. Now you're probably thinking it looks ridiculous, and I agree it does, but it gives me a smile every time I use it. It's sitting here, pride and joy, in the workshop next to the photo of me and my dad feeding the kangaroo there. Now every time I go out the door here, I can just quickly grab my hat, pop it back on the hook when I get back in the workshop after doing whatever job I'm doing outside. And you can see I had to cheat a little bit here in this case, tie it on with a piece of string, this metal hook, otherwise it was sliding down a bit. Now, that's just because it's a bit slippery, but you can see how super strong this subwoofer magnet is. If I've got it, standard, typical hammer here, that just sticks up there, holds on, no problem. Nothing's holding it there. So you can see this subwoofer magnet would have no problem holding big tools and things if I had some other ideas for it. Now in the study here, we're taking a look at my 10-year Google anniversary plaque. This was a really nice touch. When you've been at Google for 10 years, you can pick your own Google Doodle, print it out with your name on there and the start date, and it's really nice. I got it framed up. And I wanted to hang this in the study here so I could see it, you know, whenever I'm working here. And you can see, and I have a guess probably by now, that there's going to be a magnet behind this picture. And there you have it. So to make this stick in place without sliding down, all I did was simply cut off a little tiny bit of this, you know, non-slip rubber mat, stuck it behind that magnet. And this picture has been hanging up here for years, no problems, never fallen off, never moved up or down. There you go. Another idea I had for those hard drive magnets was in the second shower. Now, we recently renovated our main bathroom, so we were using this second shower much more than we normally do. And what I did, the shower curtain was starting to annoy me, so what I did was just stick, you know, in about 4 places along the shower curtain there, stuck some of those hard drive magnets. On the other side, I just put a little nut there from the workshop, just to give it a bit of extra weight down the bottom, stop it, you know, flying out when that hot air starts to rise and pulls the bottom of the curtain up, and it doesn't wrap around your legs quite as much as it used to. One more place you'll find magnets hidden in this cupboard under the stairs is, ta-da, let there be light. You can see I've got a couple of these little magnetic lights. Now these are quite cool, just bought these on Amazon again. They come with these little round discs. They just snap up in place. Sensor lights, they turn off when you close the cupboard. And they are USB-C, most importantly, which means they charge with a USB-C cable. Now I used to have a powered light that plugged into that power point there. Used to have to come here, fumble in the dark, sort of click on the switch. You remember to turn it off on the way out. So these little magnetic sensor lights have been great. Now, probably the most obvious use case I didn't mention yet was actually holding things up with magnets on the fridge, or in this case, a little whiteboard where we've got our calendar. Now these magnets, again, hard drive magnet, super duper strong. You can see that clips on very easily. And what that means is every time, even towards the end of the year when you fold it up, you know, 12 pages of the calendar, they still hold nice and strong and do not slide down or move anywhere. Now, here we are. As I said at the start of the video, I picked up a couple of these old hard drives from my local computer shop. I actually ran out of the old ones I had myself. So these ones actually went down there and the guy was happy to give me a couple of them just for free. I said, how much do you want? And he said, no, don't worry about it. So you can probably find these online as well. In this case, I've also got a T9 Torx bit, which you're going to need to unscrew these screws around the outside. So without further ado, I'm going to start unscrewing these. And I'll probably speed up the video so you don't have to watch all these boring parts, but it's pretty simple to take apart these hard drives. Sometimes you'll find another screw hidden under that sticker there, so what we might do is actually see if we can just poke it through. Otherwise, we're actually going to use a little razor blade to try and get that sticker off part way. Exposing one more of those screws. Might just need a little pry tool. Got one of these pry tools here. There you go, there comes the top. Now you might see it there in the corner there. That's one of those little magnets that I've been playing around with this video. So again, they're usually secured with a couple of Torx bits. In this case, it's a smaller one, so we're going to pop out something else in the toolkit. Lucky guess. And there you have it. There's one side of the magnet, and you just got to pop off the little head that spins around there, and you'll be able to access that other one. There you go. Hard drive taken apart quite easily, as you can see. We've popped out 2 of those little rare earth hard drive magnets that you can use for whatever projects you want, like I've done around the house. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next idea.